What's going on? What's going on? Welcome back to the channel, One Man's Walk. I am your host, Gamal, back at you with another one. I am so excited. I am fresh back. Just came back from the No Limit reunion tour right there at the Royal Farms Arena in Baltimore. It was super fun. I almost threw on the fatigue. I'm not gonna lie, I almost threw on the fatigue to go. I didn't. I restrained myself, but I did throw on green. Shout out to my boy, Lil Ronnie. This is his clothing company, Core. And so I'll try to drop a link or something like that for those who like it. But this is a really dope hoodie, really soft, really comfortable. But shout out to him for that. So I decided to wear the green anyway, but didn't do the fatigue. But you guys know I did review the Fiend album. It's up here. If you didn't check it out, you need to check it out. I wanted to go to this No Limit tour because I've been supporting No Limit since 95, 96. I think Ice Cream Man was the first project that I bought. And then from Ice Cream Man, I mean, I have way more, but these are the ones I decided to bring down here. You know how I feel when it comes to the props, letting you guys know it's real with artists that I love. I personally went to the tour for Fiend. I just wanted to hear Fiend. I bought every No Limit project for Fiend. That name right there, whenever that name popped up, you already know that's what it was gonna be. But Servon was there. He started the show. Again, the other Servon CD I do have, the Next Level, but for whatever reason, I don't know if I don't have the case anymore or whatever. So I only have the CD like in a Ziploc bag, so that's why I didn't pull it out. But Servon started the show. It was cool. He didn't do a big set. I didn't expect him to do a big set. He did do Tank with Fiend. Wanted Fiend to come out for that, but he didn't. Fiend came out next and absolutely crushed it. I thought Fiend had the best stage presence and stage show. He didn't get the biggest reaction. Now, I sat down for part. I stood up for part. I rapped along. I did what I didn't do at the Dipset Locks concert. The Dipset Locks concert, I think I pulled out my phone 3 times maybe to video a couple things. I should have done it more because of how monumental and legendary that verses was, but I didn't. But I did pull out my phone more, so I'll try to periodically have clips running up here as it's going, as I'm talking. Really good show. I wasn't sure what to expect. Now, again, like I was saying, in 98, 97, 96, when Master P, when No Limit was at their peak, their height, they never came this side. They didn't come to New York. They didn't come to Baltimore. They didn't come to DC. Had they been to any of those shows, if they had went to Philly, I would have went. Like, it didn't matter. If they were going any one of those cities, which I would frequent or lived in, they didn't come, you know? And so, and they said it at the concert. They said, hey, you know, this is our first time here. We've never been here. And it's a shame because people out here love them. And so the amount of people who were, like I said, wearing the fatigues, soldiered out, it was nice. I liked how they said, hey, look, man, and it's similar. The Locks Dipset concert said that too. The verses, they did say that as well. Look, man, I know we're getting a little rowdy on stage. I know the music and the energy we bring with this, but we want everyone to get home safe. We're too old to be getting into fighting and killing one another and going to jail tonight. And they emphasized it a couple times at this concert, similar to Jim Jones and Styles doing it a couple times at the other concert. Look, man, we want everyone to get home safe. And I thought it was good because at the New York one for the Locks Dipset one, it felt like old New York. And so it was real gangsters in there. It felt like old New York in there. And in here, it was a good energy. It was a great energy. Crowd was loving it. It was a great energy. Had super fun. I have loved these No Limit guys for super long. Like I said, anytime Fiend was on a project, I bought it. If I saw his name pop up on any of these CDs, I bought it. The moment, listen, he did my record from, what is it? I Don't Mess Around. And it had all the stars were there. Like, it was Master P, obviously. So the show started with Serve. And then Fiend. And then Mia X, Mama Mia. Unladylike as ever. She's so dope. She's so dope. Man, her lyrical skills is ridiculous. Fiend, obviously, he's definitely my favorite, but Mia X is a problem. After Mia was Silk, After Silk was Mystical, and then The Colonel came out. And then Master P coming out, he had a section where he did, we were hoping, my homeboy Dante, Donnie, and his cousin Black, shout out to you guys, they both were there. I wasn't sure if they was going to make it, I'm not going to front. They were saying they was going to make it. I had skepticism they were going to get there, but I was so happy to see them. I actually sat with them. It was really cool getting to hang out with them. It's been a super long time when we used to hang out all the time together, late 90s, early 2000s, before I got the ring. And so we were out there and we was going back and forth all through Baltimore. So it was really cool hanging out with them. But he brought out Mac. That's who Donnie wanted to see. He was excited for Mac and Mercedes. And obviously Mercedes played that one record that, listen, just so you guys know, it's real. I have them all. Like, I have them all. I bought all of them. And this song right there, if you know, you know, that I can tell that you ain't got to say too much from the look in your eyes. I can tell you wanna. Listen here. And you ain't got to call me a boo. Just as bad as you want some, I want some too. So they played that. That was yeah. That's the record that I used to throw that in there. That was a go-to. Master P did something. I know I'm jumping around. I'm just so excited. I had so much fun. Master P did this record that I really, really loved, that I knew, and I was like, why is this not on Apple Music? And I guess he could not get the sample to clear. It's a Keith Sweat remake of this record, but the song is called Body. And it's nice, man. It's a nice one. And he actually performed it there. And after the performance, I'll probably throw it up as I'm talking right now. But during it, he even said that he wanted to, he's going to talk with them to re-release it, or he may just re-release it himself, which I hope he does, because it's on YouTube. It's fire. The Body record is fire. I watched a comment. Some people don't like the guy who did the hook. I didn't mind the guy who did the hook. Yes, it's auto-tuney, but I didn't mind it. But it has such a nice rhythm. It's such a nice beat. And I like how it starts off with the Keith Sweat version, and then it flips right into the Master P remake of it. It's nasty. And it goes back to what I said in the Wale thing. You have got to be flipping some of these 90s records. I think that Keith Sweat version, I don't know if that's an 80s song. I feel like that's a 90s one, like 90, 91, 92. That's what we should be flipping now. We've already done 70s and 80s, 60s, whatever. Let's get into these 90s and 2000s. Do people remember that Nelly, and I hate to use Nelly, I'm just saying as an example, Country Grammar came out 21 years ago, people. 21 years ago. Let's start getting, let's sample EI. Let's sample the record he has with Kelly Rowland. I can't think of what the name of that is right now, but let's sample the Ludas. Let's sample early 2000. Let's flip the Where the Party At. I'm just saying, like, there's a ton of music to be done. Let's start flipping some of these No Limit records, which, to get to that, and again, the Wale album, he uses the down south slang and rolling with these hustlers, trying to get rid of all you haters and you busters. Now, completely did not realize this. Now, I said it before on the Wale recap or the reaction review of his album, that he took that from The Fiend, There's One in Every Family CD, right? The song Slangin'. That's what I thought, until, obviously, it's one of my favorite ones right here from the No Limit family. But what I completely forgot was Master P actually says that on Make 'Em Say Now, they ended the show with Make 'Em Say as they're supposed to. Everyone is on stage. And P is the one who actually says it. So really, it's P that did it in 97 on a Make 'Em Say and then Fiend made a whole song out of it based upon that one line that P said, that down south slang, rolling with these hustlers, trying to get rid of all you haters and you busters. And then Wale turns around and makes that the hook on the same beat where he samples the Still Tippin' on 4/4s. And so that was really amazing. Mama Mia X, Unladylike. Yes, we have them both. We not playing no games. I can't wait to get, on a side note, the Sony ZV-E10. I plan on getting it extremely soon. Not very soon, extremely soon. But I saw that you can do the product placement and kind of like filters on that. I think that's going to be really dope. But obviously, love Mia X. I love too that, and I was hoping, so this sucked. The one thing that sucked, Serve, when he did Tank, I'm a no limit tank. Right. You want a war, get stank. That one right there, Fiend does a hook. And I was hoping Fiend would have come out, but Fiend didn't actually come out until his verse. So Serve-On was the only one who was left solo. When Fiend came out, Fiend did he do everything solo? Maybe he did everything solo too. And then when Mia X came out, she brought Fiend back. Because I was like, there's no way they're not going to do the record from here, which probably starts Riots. That I Think Somebody. I'm not going to be singing it, but I Think Somebody. That song right there is nuts. We used to ride around playing that all the time. Obviously, so he brought her back out for that. When Silk came out, now the girls must have come for Silk because they got extra live when Silk popped up. When Silk popped up, they got extra live. And he did records from, obviously he starts off with the Soldier record that he has. I really wish that everyone would have jumped on board for that because that's such a great Soldier record. Where's the Silk the Shocker CD? They're all over the place. Now this was not going to happen. This CD right here, I'm not really a fan of. Like, it was cool. It was better than the Made Man CD. For whatever reason, I've charged this game on cassette tape. And I didn't feel like going into the attic like I did for the KRS one. So that's why I didn't have that. Same with Mystical. For some reason, I didn't realize I bought both Mystical cassette tapes. The No Limit ones on cassette tape. Unpredictable and then Ghetto Fabulous. I have on cassette tape. I just didn't feel like going to the attic for that. But the record he has on here, I thought he would have done the one that had Mac on it and brought Mac out for that. That he did that. They say he did that. But he didn't. He did do the record that he has with Trina. Obviously, the girls went nuts for that. But I really wish Trina would have been there. I didn't really care to see him for that. But I will say, Silk on stage presence was way better than I thought it would be, especially after watching his interview on the Nori podcast. Because he was so laid back, so reserved, so not trying to answer anything. I just could not imagine that his stage show would be what it was. It was really good. And you can tell that from the moment Silk came, it was like, okay, Fiend. It was Serve, Fiend, and the lights was on the whole time for them as far as the stage and stuff. And then Mia X got a little bit, the budget came up a little bit. And then when Silk came out, you could tell the budget went up. And how the lights were going in there and stuff like that. And I wasn't sure if we were going to get that because I watched some of the earlier shows on YouTube, like, I don't know if it was St. Louis or Memphis or, I don't know, Detroit. I don't know, like all these other places. And I was like, the show doesn't look the greatest watching it. But being there, the energy there was really fun. Mystical came out and Mystical did good. I thought he was going to be more animated because I had been thinking maybe Mystical and Buster could do a versus. I don't think so. I thought he would be more animated than he was. He was still kind of animated, but I still couldn't understand what he was saying sometimes. And I was like, man, I didn't even know Mystical's lyrics, but I couldn't understand. It was worse than what KRS-One was doing at the verses. And so, and I like the KRS with that one right there too, you know, put something up there, but you guys know about that verses. So, but it was such a fun show. And then when Master P came out, and obviously he brought Mac out, and so you guys know, yes, we have them both. Shell Shock, World War III. Shell Shock, definitely one of my favorites. Shell Shock, Street Life. There's one in every family. What else do we have? My favorites. There's 504 Boys. They did do Wobble Wobble, or Mac did Wobble Wobble from this. And you guys see when it's real, like, it's not even like I just have like the versions like this. I have the ones where they had those album covers with that weird type of thing that they had, which is what like the Mia X one has, this weird rigid thing over here. Yeah, I really did love the Tank. You saw the Mercedes. The Last Dawn is here. True is here. Like they're all here. They're all here. And they did records from all of these. Hootie Who obviously was gonna play. Swamp played. It Always Feels Like Someone's Watching Me. Freakos played. Man, they ran through a lot. I can't, obviously No Limit Soldiers played, which obviously. Though I don't know why they don't just do both versions, because on the, and I have that on cassette tape too, on the We Can't Be Stopped compilation, which I have on cassette tape upstairs in the attic, they have the remix, I guess is what you want to call it, to the No Limit Soldiers. It's called Part 2, and it had everyone else on there: Mac, Fiend, Big Ed, Dougry, Serve. They're all on there. And I'm like, I don't know why they don't just, yes, do the original verses for P, for Silk, for Mia X, and then incorporate the other ones. They even brought Choppa out. I was not expecting. I completely forgot Choppa had been on there. That Nola style, Choppa style song, and the girls went nuts for that. And then they also, Romeo came out. He didn't perform any of his records, which I was cool with. I didn't want to see that, but he did assist P, his dad, with some records. It was really nice, man. I thought that they did a great job together. And then they had a tribute for C Murder, and in a tribute for C Murder, they went through some of his records. Obviously, the big record was that Down for My Man. The place went nuts when that came on, as it should. It's such a crazy energy record, and it had me thinking on this: we need to get a No Limit versus. Now, obviously, the people would want to see, or I'd want to see, No Limit Cash Money, but then with Cash Money, you also have to deal with Young Money, I guess, because Baby can pull from all of that stuff based upon how Versus has worked. And having Drake, Nicki Minaj in such an extensive Wayne catalog is kind of a cheat code. But if we could have gotten Cash Money before the Young Money portion came in, and we take that Cash Money from like the Juvie, Turk, BG, Wayne, all the way through, give it even up to the Wayne albums where he was still doing like the Carters 1, 2, 3 before we get to Young Money, and that switch over with the Drake in them. But if we can just have that, No Limit got records. Like I knew No Limit had records, and there were still records they didn't even get to play that I wanted them to play, that I wanted to hear with them on it. But they played a lot of classics. They played some I didn't even think they would have played. It was when P played, "This is for the Bourbons and the Cadillacs with the 10s and 12s bumping in the back." I'm still mad to this day he never made a video for that. In 97, where obviously there were these big budget videos and people had videos, that was the true gem. It was the last song. What was the track 19 on the obviously we still got Ice Cream Man. We have them all, man. But Master P, Ghetto D, I think it's the last track. Yes, it is. Bourbons and Lax is 19. But they did so many of these records. I would have liked to hear Captain Kirk. I thought that would have been really good to hear. They didn't do that. But man, they did so many records. It was so much fun. They had a great tribute on I Miss My Homies, where they had on the screen everyone who had passed in No Limit. You start thinking, man, Magic, Big Ed, Soldier Slim, Fifth Ward Weeby, Webby? I'm not sure. Webby, Weeby, Fifth Ward guy. I remember he was on the later part of No Limit when they were doing the new 504 Boys. I didn't buy that CD. Goodfellas was the last one I bought, but like, it was a great one. And then obviously with Sucks too, when you think about it, like, oh crap, Pimp C was on this record. Pimp C was also on the screen, and then Nipsey and everything like that. But it was so good. It was so worth the money. I have been to now two back-to-back just amazing, legendary shows between the Dipset Locks and then this. I keep saying it, I will do a Dipset Locks video, even if it's like way past due for people. I don't even care. I had so much fun. I want to get my thoughts out on that. But yeah, guys, Master P, Silk the Shocker, C Murder, Mia X, Mystical, Fiend, Serve, Mercedes, Mac, Big Ed, Cain and Abel, Soldier Slim, Gambino Family, Prime Suspects, Ghetto Commission, listen, Skullduggery, Magic, on and on and on. They deserve their flowers. I was so happy to see KLC was there. And I was really hoping, man, does this mean that Moby Dick is a reunion coming? Is a Craig B. Odell reunion coming? Shout out to Portia. Shout out to Miss Peaches. Listen, man, the entire No Limit fan. It was so good. KLC, he did the set for Mystical. He came out for Mystical. So obviously Mystical must have brought him. They were really cool. But it was just good that he was there. And so, listen, it was so much fun. It was so nice. It was great to hear the music. And even in them hearing the music, them saying, look, let's not have any violence when we leave here. Let's go home safely. Let's have a great time and go home back to our loved ones. Let's not go to jail tonight. Let's not turn up like that. It was great. I had an amazing time. Well worth the money. It was just so much fun. And so, no, it's a little long video, but hey, hopefully you guys enjoyed it. Hopefully you stuck around to the end. As always, on purpose, have a wonderful, blessed, productive, stress-free day, weekday, weekend, whenever you are listening. Till next time.